Shalom, Israel. It's your boy New Breed, aka Brother Emmanuel, coming through with another video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cool Out Corner. Having a little bit of red wine. You know we do everything in moderation. You know how we do it. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about what we go through as a targeted individual. And also I want to speak on how we were targeted, why we were targeted. Hopefully this answers some of the questions that a lot of brothers and sisters have, because it's nothing like the uncertain feeling that goes on in our minds, like, why me? Why me? Think about how many times we've asked that question in the heat of the moment, when the pressure is on us as people, when we're going through something. How many times when we're praying and we say, why me? Why am I being targeted? Why does it seem like I always get persecuted? Well, it's because you have certain characteristics about you that stand out to most people. And today I want to discuss these characteristics because what I want to do is I want to have you able to use those characteristics to your advantage in order to conquer these gang stalkers. All right? So let's talk about these characteristics. So this is what makes a person a target of gang stalking. A lot of people initially are open about speaking truth. That's one thing. They're open about speaking the truth. The truth always ruffles feathers, ladies and gentlemen. But here's some of the personality traits, because there are personality traits, believe it or not, when one is deemed a targeted individual. Is also based on race and nationality as well. Not all the time. Not all the time is it based on race and nationality, but those are one of the key points. Am I saying that all races of people aren't targeted? Not at all. There are people from every race who end up targeted individuals. One characteristic trait is a person who possess high levels of self-control. Possess high levels of self-control. Leaders who are emotionally intelligent, patient, calm under pressure. Those type of people, most of the time, will ruffle the feathers of weak-minded people. And trust and believe, it takes a very, very weak-minded person to get in an organized group and watch one person. It takes a weak person to be a part of the crowd and gang stalk a person. So a person who has high levels of self-control is automatically put on that list. So brothers and sisters who want to refrain from doing what society does and show discipline and self-control, those kind of people are placed on high alert. There's a red flag on those who pretty much possess high levels of self-control. All right? Also, a person who stands clear from drama. If you're a person who basically are away from everything that's going on, you keep your mouth closed during situations where all hell is breaking loose and everybody is throwing each other under the bus and going back and forth and bickering with each other, that can make you a target, because people begin to wonder, why is this person not engaging in the he say, she say? Why is this person not talking about that person? Everybody doesn't like this person. Why do you stand clear of all that? Why do you have nothing to say? It begins to raise eyebrows at you. Because you're dealing with people with a hive mentality. They roll in hives like bees, you know? You're dealing with people with hive mentality. You're dealing with people who basically can't understand them. They can't even function in society without something going on around them. So a lot of people like that who have to have some type of drama going on for them to just function. So when a person has self-control, emotionally intelligent, patient, calm under pressure, staying clear of all the drama that's going on in the world, guess what? That person is looked at. You know what else makes you a targeted individual? If you are a seeker of truth. If you seek truth, that would deem you as a threat. Even if you're not fully into the knowledge. None of us fully understand everything. None of us fully know all the answers, ladies and gentlemen. But if you are one who is seeking truth in a world full of lies, in a world full of chaos, in a world full of deceit, if you are one who is seeking truth, that can deem you as a person who is a threat. Because that could be just the beginning, you seeking the truth. What happens when you learn the truth? What happens when you implement the truth? You already possess high levels of self-control. So you can't be swayed or buyed off or blackmailed by this system. They can't blackmail you because you have high levels of self-control. You stand clear from the drama so they can't catch you slipping and get your name thrown up in anything that can be detrimental to you. And you're seeking truth. So once you find this truth, you already possess strong leadership skills in their eyes. Since you possess these strong leadership skills, you are a threat. You can't be controlled. A person who places courage over fear. A person who places courage over fear. When you don't operate in the spirit of fear, when you're not operating on what can happen to you in this system, who can do something to you, when you don't fear death, when you're not afraid to die if you have to for what you believe in, that right there places a target on your back. Because you are not afraid to die for what you believe in. If you have no fear, then there's no limits to where you can go. That can cause a lot of strife, jealousy, and envy all around you. That can cause people to want to target you. That can cause people to want to make sure that you never make it to where you're headed. Out of fear. It's just simply out of fear. When you have empathy towards others, when you actually can feel the pain of your own people, let's just use that as an example. When you're good-hearted and have a nature to yourself where you empathize with others. Why? Because you live in a sociopathic environment. So when you empathize with others, that can deem you as a target. Because everybody else is self-glorifying. Everybody else is out for self. Nobody else cares about anybody. The Bible itself says the love of many shall wax cold. The people are walking around here cold-hearted. But the fact that you can empathize with others makes you stand out because it's very rare in these days. There's a lot of famous people that they play a role of empathizing with others, but they really don't. A lot of times when they're doing stuff for the hood, it's nothing but a tax write-off. Because with the millions and millions of dollars that these brothers and sisters are bringing in, they can change everything. But they're not doing that because they do not truly empathize with the struggle of the people. That makes you a threat when you empathize with the struggle of the people, especially if you one who came from the struggle of the people. So, empathizing towards others' feelings, towards other people, is a problem. If you're a person who is self-aware, just self-aware, let's not even get into the fact of all the hidden truths that they pretty much kept from us. But if you're aware of yourself, if you know yourself, that can make you a target. If you're self-aware, you know where not to go. You stand for something. That means, guess what? You cannot fall for anything. That means the wool they try to pull over your eyes will not work. That means you don't believe the education system. You don't believe the lies and propaganda that Hollywood is trying to spread. And you don't even believe the news for that fact, because you know that it's nothing but smoke and mirrors. You know that anything publicized on a mainstream level has an agenda. Only thing you can do is be aware of yourself. So you being self-aware can make you a targeted individual. A person who maintains and nurtures their reputation. You maintain your reputation and you nurture your reputation. I think Scarface said it best when he said, "My nuts and my words, or my ball sack and my words, is all I got. I don't break them for no one." That's the mentality you got to have. That's how you got to be. You got to be real. You got to maintain your reputation. You cannot be out here doing things that's against your reputation. You cannot be hypocritical. Because with all these traits and these characteristics that one have, you will be a leader. Regardless if the system is watching you or not, you will be a leader. Regardless. Which will eventually make you a target. Because the rest of the world, the rest of society are followers. Once you become this leader and you have these characteristics, or some people naturally have these characteristics, and some of these characteristics literally come through bloodline. This is why I said bloodline plays a role. Where you come from, your background plays a role. There are people of all races who are victims of gangstalking. But there's also a chosen royal bloodline within this earth. And this chosen royal bloodline a lot of the times possess these type of characteristics and traits. They possess these characteristics and traits, but the world is trying their damnedest to dilute these traits. The world is trying everything they can. They're trying every angle they can. They're trying to feminize these men and women. Well, they're trying to feminize the men of the Most High. They're trying to use fear tactics. They're trying to demonize. They're trying to basically run a whole smear campaign on one particular race. Actually, it's more than one particular race. But the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, they fall victim to this a lot. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about the biblical Israelites. But as a targeted individual, these are the characteristics we possess. Now, if you utilize all of these characteristics and you continue to utilize them, this is how you conquer the gang stalkers. If you continually possess high levels of self-control, if you continue to be emotionally intelligent, patient, calm under pressure, stay away from the damn drama, keep seeking the truth until you find it. Don't have no fear. Empathize with your brothers and sisters. Know that we got to stick together. Be self-aware. Continue to stand out. Maintain and nurture the reputation that you've built for yourself. And it goes for all the brothers who've been leaders out here, who stood against the powers that be and spoke truth. It's one thing for you to stand against the powers that be and speak truth, but you got to know that you cannot dibble and dab with the rest of the world. You cannot operate like you with the rest of the world. You cannot do the same thing and think that you're going to maintain and nurture your reputation. It's just not possible. So be holy, chosen people, targeted people, elect people. Continue to be holy, which only means be separate. And this is why we're targeted. In case you wanted to know, why me? Why me? In case that question continually popped into your head. This is why. You've been targeted because you possess these characteristics. And somewhat, it may be just an inklet. It may just be an inklet of some of those characteristics. And the world is already beginning to see it. A lot of times people are born into families that exercise Freemasonry. So they're targeted from birth because they are born with these characteristics and they're not following society. So their families are the ones. Their families are the ones who are keeping a tight watch on their family member. This is very real, and I know some people may not understand this. That's because you might not have lived this. But society is far more complex than the naked eye may see. There are things going on around you all the time. When I speak, I'm not speaking just from a physical or mental standpoint, but I'm speaking from a spiritual standpoint as well. There are things going on around you all the time. There are spiritual beings. We fight with demonic warfare. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but we fight with principalities, wickedness in high places. So although you, the average thinking person, I would say, don't believe that there are satanic forces or they're not the most highest forces, the powers that be believe so. So on a high level, they're exercising sorcery, witchcraft, and they're moving this stuff, and it trickles on down to the general public. What goes on behind closed doors affect the general public. So you got to put your spiritual armor on, and you got to stay ready for battle. You got to maintain yourself. You got to maintain mentally, physically, spiritually for this battle. And when all is said and done, if you just stay on the right path as a light worker, it'll all end bad for those gang stalkers. They will be utterly destroyed. The gang stalkers, the weak-minded, the people who are stagnant, stuck in one mentality, not growing, not persevering. This world is truly survival of the fittest. Those people who refuse to grow and develop as people, those people will be destroyed. Those people who have chose sides as dark workers and has chose the side of the wicked, they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be in the most darkest, bottomless pit that you can't even fathom. Continue to do what's right. Hope this video brings motivation to the elect. Thank you all for viewing this video. Thank you for your subscription. Shalom and peace.